I'm excited about this one right here. Ja Morant, man, Murray State guard, declared for the draft after his sophomore year, man. So how does it feel right now to be in this process?
It feels good. Obviously, something I've been chasing since I put a basketball in my hand, but to now being able to almost like achieve this dream in June, it just feels good.
Now I got to be completely honest with you, man. Like I caught on to you probably about it was midway during the season, your sophomore season, and there was people telling me about you before the season started. And I was like, I don't know. He's from Murray State. I don't know. It doesn't translate. Then you look at some of I'm looking at the other guards who came out of Murray State. I'm like, you know. But, man, I seen a handful of your games during the regular season. Obviously, I seen the tournament. When did you notice that people were starting to look at you a little bit more?
I say after the Alabama game.
That was during your
regular season,
sophomore year. Okay.
Yeah, I think I had 38 and a dunk that went viral. And after that, that's when my name started to blow up a little bit, and I followed it with a great showing against Auburn, and I think that really when everybody knew who I was.
All right, so did you already know and believe that you were this caliber of player?
Yeah, I knew it. I was ready for this season, but I don't think like nobody else knew that I would be this good. But I always knew I was.
Well, so tell me, let's go back, but even before that, coming out of high school, you were a what? 4-star?
No star.
You no-star recruit.
No star.
How did you slip through the cracks? What do you think led to that?
That's a question I used to ask myself and my parents. I played against some of the top prospects, played with some, and still no looks. So I think that just motivated me a lot and made me play with a chip on my shoulder.
So who were some of the notable guys you played with, or played against AAU in high school that you feel like, you did your thing at that time and you should have been recognized then?
Well, I played with Zion. Obviously, everybody know who that is. And I also played with Devontae Shuler, who's at Ole Miss. And we wasn't sponsored. Our AAU team wasn't sponsored, so we had no shoe deal. But we went to all the big tournaments, and Nike, Under Armour, Adidas. So, all the top prospects there out of those. And we won a lot, and still nobody said anything about Ja Morant.
So you played with Zion, and yet still, well, what do you think? People would just focus on Zion and just like how could you?
If I could tell you, I would.
That's like that happens in football. Football, you have a lot of players. Like there's a lot of players on the team. There's a lot more players in the NFL compared to the NBA. Like talents like you don't slip through the cracks, and so that's why I was like, what is this dude? Like this dude's really seriously like balling. Like what was the most frustrating part, or if it was frustrating, at what point was it frustrating for you?
I'd say not receiving those looks and having great showings in like every game, and still nobody contact you, try to offer you a scholarship or anything. So I think that was like the most frustrating part, and that was my 10th grade year when I played, and I didn't really receive no offers or anything until like my 11th grade, like my last 2 or 3 AAU tournaments. So.
And it wasn't a grades issue. Grades was fine.
Grades.
This was just.
I ain't had no choice but to have good grades.
I guess that'd be true. I'm just blindsided by that. So, who were some of the schools that made offers to you coming out of high school?
Well, most people think I only had 2 or 3 offers, but I really had like 20 almost.
All right.
So
where did 2, 3 come from? Where did that narrative?
I guess from me being overlooked. So they try to say Murray was like the only team that offered me.
Okay.
But I had way more offers than that. And I think Murray just stood out to everybody to me because of what they did through the whole process, contact me almost every day.
Yeah.
It just made me feel like a part of the family, and I haven't even committed there. So, and went on my visit, and I liked the campus and everything, the people who was there, and the playing style. And that's what made me make my decision.
Were there any other, so out of those 20 schools, were any of those schools considered to be bigger schools than Murray? And if
South Carolina.
South Carolina?
Yeah.
And you still chose
Murray, yeah.
At that point when you chose Murray, did you still think that Murray State can be an avenue to, still chase my dream and turn pro?
Oh, yeah, I knew it from the jump. And I'm a man of my word, and I told Murray that I was coming there. So I was going to go to Murray regardless. And I trusted the coaches and the program that they'll get me to my dream, and that's what they told me. Now I have the opportunity to play at the biggest level.
You remind me of somebody. Who's your favorite NBA player?
Westbrook.
Westbrook? You remind me of him, man. Loyal dude, committed. Sam, he went to UCLA, but Sam, he wasn't. Yeah. Nobody thought he was that guy coming out of college. All right, so check me this. So I've asked, I had Damian Lillard on my pod back in February, and we didn't talk about this on the pod, but a different platform. But he told me about when he was at Weber, when he started dominating.
Yeah.
So, similar to small college. When he started dominating, he started getting calls from Duke, other big schools trying to recruit him, trying to get him a transfer. Did you have any of those?
If I did, I didn't know. So, I really didn't pay attention too much to it.
Well, let me tell you right now, you would know if Duke came calling. You would know. But
well, hopefully I would have seen Coach K.
That's true.
But I think still, if that had to happen, I would have stayed at Murray.
You would have stayed?
Yeah.
So Duke, North Carolina call you and say, transfer, we got a spot for you. Obviously, you had to sit out a year. But you'll be our starting point guard, run this program. You would have said, no, I'm sticking with it.
I'm not too big on the big names or anything, honestly. I just feel like that's somewhere somebody would want to go. But the question would be is, do they want you? So that's what made me make my decision, honestly. I just chose, went to a school that wanted me instead of a school I wanted to go to.
Wow, this is fascinating, man. Like, you think about where, do you pay attention to mock drafts? Where are you at right now in this process? Do you look at those things, or you just focus on your workouts and what you got to do?
Focus on the workouts.
Okay.
Like, it's just mock draft. It's not the real draft, so
that's
really no point of paying attention to
I'm glad you focus on your workout, because I focus on the mock draft, because that's what I'm supposed to do. So I'm going to say this. So as of right now, you're projected to be the number 2 pick in the NBA draft. And I bring that up to say this. So to ask this, if you're projected to be a number 2 pick now, did you I'm going to be honest with you, in high school, did you really think at that time that you were the number 2 best player in your class?
Well, I always had the confidence in myself that I was the best player. But if you had to ask me when no colleges was contacting me, I would have probably told you that I don't even think I could have played D1 because of no colleges contacting me. So it was times where I questioned myself and doubted myself. Was I good enough? And my parents told me to just keep going, and it all paid off.
And that's the thing where we let external situations kind of start to affect our confidence. Because it seemed like you based off of the fact that they're not looking or showing interest, you start to wonder, like, man, am I really as good as I think I am? Like
what's going on type, yeah.
That's crazy, man. Because the way you sitting there, this just doesn't happen. Like, players don't sneak up, Like, look, there's bigs that sneak up because they're big. You always can use a 7-footer. But guards that show the type of ability, man, that I'm just baffled by that. Do you feel, all right, did you feel like you had to play with an edge, or do you feel like you had a chip on your shoulder to prove something?
Yeah, and I still play with that chip on my shoulder because I'm pretty sure it's still people who think I'm still not good enough to, like you said, be the number 2 pick right now. And the negative energy just motivates me, makes me go harder, and that's the chip I play with, and that's how I go out every game.
When you saw in college, Zion Williamson, a lot of these other high prospect college players just getting all this national TV love, and on ESPN, Yahoo's writing about them all the time. Like, did that do anything to you? Like, did you feel like, man, like, I should be getting that shine, or I'm working my way. Like, how was that for you at that time?
Honestly, I really didn't pay too much attention. Was focused on me getting on the TV or anything. I was just trying to stay where my feet was at. I was at Murray State. I was just trying to do anything I could to be a better player and also help my team win ball games. And I guess I think that allowed me to play at a high level.
So what's your natural position? Do you have a natural position, or are you just a basketball player?
I'm a point guard.
You're a point guard, huh?
God.
Oh, excuse me, point guard. Excuse me, I missed that. Point guard.
Yeah.
That's the difference between a point guard and a point guard.
Yeah.
What makes you a point guard, Ja?
The ability to not only make plays for me, but also my teammates. And just everything I bring to the table, honestly. Try to play an all-around game and do whatever I can to help my team win.
I remember, seeing you in the tournament, man. The way you talked about the dunk that went viral during the regular season, man. That tournament dunk. I think you exploded baseline, and that's when you like. My eyes open up a little wider. I'm like, that's when I was starting to realize, like, this dude really is a player. Like some cats you look at when they're playing certain competition, and you're like, oh, it's that competition. It ain't. Played the small conference. But there's some guys who just stand out. You was like, man, that's a player. That's a baller. And I think that's what a lot of people saw from you. So when you first started hitting the national scene, what was your social media and everything like? When did it start to blow up for you?
After the Alabama dunk.
After that?
Yeah. Man, we got back to the locker room. Obviously, we lost, so we were just talking about like what we could do better and everything. Got on the bus, and that's at the time, nobody really knew who I was. So I just had my phone regular notifications on. I looked, I was scrolling and then my teammates were showing me the dunk on Sports Center. So I'm like, man. Since then, social media just went crazy.
You can't have your social media on notifications now.
Oh no.
Yeah, you can't do that. Hey, those days are over, John.
Yeah.
When you had peace, or you can have it on, you get about probably 2 or 3 notifications a day.
That's how it was. Yeah. Probably one person liked your photo, retweeted your tweet. You were
happy with that one retweet.
Yeah. And now you got so much. You just got to unlock your phone. So man. I just had to turn my notifications off now.
That is crazy, man. Yeah. So you're starting to. What are you looking forward to in this whole process? A lot of people. Let me say this. I say the number 2, but there's teams out there that are, it's a debate. It's not a foregone conclusion that it's Zion. When you see that opportunity to snag that number 1, is that something that thrives you, or it's just you taking it day to day and you see where you land when it's all said and done?
I mean, I feel like it's all going to play out the right way, but my focus is just obviously those teams who have that debate probably see something in me. So I'm gonna just continue to work and try to be a better player. And if they decide to pick me number 1, number 2, or the last pick, regardless, I'm gonna try to come in and make an impact.
You ain't getting picked no last pick, man. That's you being humble. That's the old Ja. That's the Ja that didn't know if he can play or not. But no, you ain't no last pick, man. You ain't going. Hey, you ain't going no. I don't see how the way you go any way lower, than number 2. Like what I'm hearing, feedback I'm getting from executives and everything, and just the poise, and that's what you showed in the tournament, is that you trust your teammates, and not to put any of your teammates down. But you're going to be playing with better teammates in the league, and you were still able to make them better and trust them. Where does that come from? Because I know a lot of guys, when they're playing with, I ain't going to name any NBA players, but I just got through seeing one. But when they play with certain guys, it's me. They're going to try to get there. What is the recipe for being a point guard? How can you get the best out of talent that's, inferior to yours?
Man, well, with me, I just started by studying my teammates. So just knowing what their strengths are and know where they like to score the ball from. And I guess just knowing that, it gives you an edge because it makes the job easier because you know what they want to do. So as long as you can put them in that position to do that, makes the job way easier.
Can you give me an example of a teammate that you had in college where you actually studied them and you know where they like what's an example of studying them and you going forward?
I can say Tevin, he was a freshman. He actually, that's how I got Murray State, honestly. We both went to the same camp, and Murray was there watching him. And the coach went to the concession stand, looking for the concession stand, and found me in the back gym.
Hold on. Even Murray State almost dissed you. They went looking for somebody else, huh?
So they was there looking. We was at a Chandler Parsons camp.
Okay.
And, I was in the back. They put me in the back gym playing 3-on-3. The coach was looking for a concession stand, but ended up seeing the gym. Started watching. He started, I guess, fell in love with how I played. He contacted my dad and was like, who is this guy? They were trying to figure out who I was. And we ended up playing my same teammate the next day in the tournament. And I had a great showing, and that's how I got Murray State to offer.
Wow.
So then we both went to Murray together. He had a season-ending injury. So this was the first year actually playing, but obviously me playing against him and getting to know him, I know what he liked to do. And if he liked shooting in the corners. So me driving and kicking to the corner is just a simple play, but most people don't know that's where he liked to shoot from. So most of the time he gonna make it.
And you develop that trust where you know he's gonna be there. Probably don't even have to look over there at times.
Like I already know where he's at. So once I see his defender shift a little bit, and then he's 6'5", he can shoot over most guards. So,
man,
yeah.
So what do you think? What do you? So is there an ideal situation for you as far as an NBA team out there? Is there an ideal team that you would prefer?
Not really.
Is there a system that you prefer? Is there an ideal system?
I like to play with a fast-paced team.
Just
somebody who get up and down. I think that's when I'm the most dangerous in the open floor, and I'm able to make a lot of plays. So.
And that's where the NBA is elite. That's where they're going towards right now. What would you say if because you're going to get to the part of the process of the NBA Combine, and I like the NBA Combine. Obviously, it gives teams feedback, but the NFL Combine is what I can't stand because it's all about trying to find holes in somebody's game and nitpick. But when you get to that process, what are some things you think that GMs and executives are going to want to know about you or going to ask you? Is there anything that you think is in store?
Probably. I know it was times where people was like I couldn't shoot. But I feel like my freshman year, I was just taking almost shots that I forced myself to take. So that's why I shot a low percentage.
Okay.
And this year I shot more shots that I wanted to shoot. So obviously I shot I think 37% from three. And most people probably were like, well, can he be consistent behind the three? And I feel like that's what they're going to look for. Break
down. So you were forcing shots your freshman year. And a lot of people don't if they haven't played the game, they don't understand. Like Damian Lillard, for instance. Damian Lillard's a pure shooter.
Yeah. He's
a pure shooter. One of the top 3-4 shooters in the game. But if you're judging by his percentage, he takes a lot of tough shots.
Yeah.
He's being guarded by the best defender on that team, and that best defender may be 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah.
So you can't fully gauge, the purity of a person's shots based off his percentage. So how was that for you when you said you were taking those tough shots in freshman year?
I think it's just like learning, honestly. Coming from high school where I took majority of our shots, and I think later on, once I got comfortable, I finally realized that just get to your spots, like where you want to get on the floor, and I figured out my role on the team. And that's what allowed me to play great in the second half of the season. And this year, obviously, I learned it the year before, so I got more and more comfortable and was able to play at a higher level.
Now, I'm looking at these. I don't know if the camera gets this, but the shots of those NBA basketballs, and I had De'Aaron Fox on my pod early in our season, and we talked about the adjustment from the college basketball to the NBA basketball. Like NBA basketball, it don't feel the same as a college. It's like I'm used to my first I went and played college in NAIA division, so even smaller than Murray State, but I love the college ball. Got the grooves in it. You can feel it. This right here, I could almost palm a college ball. I can't palm no NBA ball.
Yeah.
How has that been, the adjustment for you shooting and working on with that?
I'm actually learning it now. it is a big difference. Obviously, like you said, the grip. So I'm just trying to adjust to that. It's tough, but I think the more I get to play with the ball, I get comfortable with it.
So what are your steps? So take me through the day by day of your day leading up to the combines and possibly workouts. What are you doing to get yourself ready for the draft?
Well, I wake up probably about 8:15ish to eat breakfast, and after that I go get treatment. And after treatment, I do movement on like a football turf, like agility stuff with bands, medicine balls. Then that's like an hour, and then after that I go straight to the gym for an hour, and that's when I do a hard, intense basketball workout. Go to lunch, then I have probably like a 2-hour break between that before I go back at 4:30 for weights, and weights an hour, and then after weights, you have another gym session. So,
man, so the weight session, are you trying to put on more weight?
Yeah.
Where are you at right now?
Probably about 170.
170?
Yeah.
What you looking to put on?
I'm trying to get to 180, 185.
Right?
Yeah, as much as I can, honestly.
Man, okay. I mean, it worked for you. It worked for you thus far. You know, getting to this point. But I understand the gradual progression. So, how are you and Zion communicating a lot during this process?
We talked a lot because obviously we went to the Naismith and Wooden Awards.
Yeah.
So that's my first time getting to see him in a while. Obviously, I went to college.
Okay.
So we caught up a little bit and was talking about the AAU season, how people just finding out we played on the same team and stuff. So, yeah.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. So I understand that now things are becoming new. You're that close to becoming a pro. And I understand you got a pedicure recently.
Yeah.
Ja, what's that about, man? Are you changing, man? Are you changing? Who is this new Ja already, man?
Nah,
what's going on, man?
It's the same job.
It's the same job, huh?
I just had to get my babies done, man. You gotta take care of them, so.
Well, why you take care of them now, Ja? What's changed, man?
Well, I mean, at Murray, I really had the time. By the time I got out of practice, it was closed. And then, after the Florida State win, I decided that I was going to declare for the draft. I was trying to get Mama to take me with her. And I think she was a little bit embarrassed about my toes, so I just had to set up a little appointment here.
Hey, man, I ain't judging you, man. I probably got to get my toes worked on too, man. I'm just messing
Hey, it
with
feels
you, man.
good, though.
Hey, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I'll take your word, though, man. I'll take your word. So let's talk about, man, and you know, your pops, he was a baller. I think I could take him personally, but
I mean, you in the league. Draymond.
Oh, you thought he got jokes. He got jokes. Hey, I swear, every time, like if you go to our video page on YouTube with all my interviews, you go scroll down the comment section, you'll see at least 2 or 3 people say, "Why is Draymond interviewing Damian Lillard, Kevin Durant, or whoever?" Every time. But I bring that up to Dre. I'm like, people be saying you look like me. You be like, I don't look like your ugly. But no, that's cool, Ja. You got jokes. That's cool. I'll come up with something early on. But you made me lose my train of thought, Ja.
We was talking about my dad.
Your dad. That's right. Man, beating your dad. That's right, man. So where did the love of basketball come from? Obviously, I know he played a big part. What was his role in nurturing you as a basketball player?
That's really with my trainer, honestly. Who trained me since I had the ball in my hand. And when I was young, he was still playing, so I was around basketball the whole time and just working out with him a lot. And he really taught me like the mental aspects of the game, like chants and stuff. Like he was my first hater before I could have one. So
that's what's up. How can that be difficult sometimes? Growing up, to have a dad, who's a stud in that sport, and how was it?
It was good. Obviously, him talking trash to me, everything was negative. That was probably the hard part until I finally understood what he was actually doing. So it was times I would go tell my mama and stuff.
Okay.
Then he get yelled at from mama. So,
he get on, yeah.
So I get a little payback, but as I got older and like really understand like what he was doing and what he was preparing me for, like it was smart.
He was preparing you for social media before social media.
Yeah, and the crowd, like obviously a lot this year. At away games, most of the team fans try to overrate it. Mm-hmm. He was saying it before them, so like
your own pops.
If I can take it from my dad, like my father, like yours don't even matter.
That's what's up.
It really just made me like them poking the bell. It made me go harder.
That's where it all comes from. So take it back to your childhood. Your dad's doing that, obviously with the intentions to light a fire under you. And then you're getting slighted, out of high school because and then you still, it all makes sense, man.
Yeah.
It all makes sense, man. I see. So I don't see, that's why I'm still, like I said, what I saw in the tournament, man, you just haven't seen before. I ain't gonna say never seen before. You rarely see that. And then you see somebody come in and, so what do you want an NBA team to know about you? What are they getting when Adam Silver calls your name? Ja Morant, sophomore at Murray State. What are they getting? What do you want them to know?
Well, obviously, good point guard. Not only a good player though, but a good person. Somebody who's look good for not only the team. I'm obviously play for that team, the program, and also the community. Just a good all-around person, and just try to make an impact on wherever team draft me.
Did you? So I don't know if you saw you. Let me see. You retweeted one of my. No, you retweeted. It was when I broke that you were signing with Tandem, Jim. Yeah. But I wrote a story not too long ago after that. Before that. Stephen Curry. I don't know if you saw that. I got Stephen Curry in a one-on-one, and he talked about you. Did you happen to catch that at all? You need to check that out. But he said what he saw from you is that obviously I went to him to ask him because similar small school. Yeah. And he said your game will translate to the NBA now. He said you won't have a problem. I want to pull it up. He was I tagged you in it. He said your game, and I didn't think he was going to go to this extent with the compliment. But he said your game, I want to make sure I read it word for word. Okay. All right, here it is. The headline, Steph Curry on Ja Morant. The transition to the NBA isn't going to be difficult at all. He said what he did on Thursday, it shows you he's ready for whatever. The transition to the NBA isn't going to be difficult for him at all. Then he says, then Draymond Green, I got him to ask you, my brother, got him to ask, and he said, welcome to the, this is when you, the triple-double. Yeah. Then he said, welcome to the elite club, brother. That's all I got to say to him. That was my first time watching him play, and he's for real. Then Stephen Curry said, from what I've seen, he's a beast. He's athletic, knows how to play, he's fearless, and shows up for big games, even though everybody knows he's coming. That speaks volumes about his game. And so when you hear that from a player like Stephen Curry, man, have you ever met him first of all?
Nah, I've been to one of his games when Davidson versus South Carolina when I was little.
Back then, huh?
Yeah, but that was about it. But like you said, just Stephen Curry saying that about me is, I don't even know what to say, honestly. It's like somebody you watch. Everybody in the world know who Steph Curry is right now to this day, and how he makes the game look so easy at the biggest level. And for him to say that about me, it give me a little confidence.
That's what's up. I was so your best player, your favorite player, Westbrook. Why is that?
I just like his all-around game, doing points, rebounds, assists. I just like everything he does on the floor. That's really how I try to play. I just take it as trying to do anything I can to help my team win. If it's I got to score the ball, rebound the ball, or make plays for my teammates. So.
Now, before we started this interview, I'm bringing Westbrook because my guy Damian Lillard over there kind of did your boys in, kind of did them in over there. So I had him actually. You guys FaceTime him, had him talk. Was that the first time you and Dame ever been? What you think about his game and what he was able to do in that first round against OKC?
Tough player, man. Make a lot of tough shots, and like I said about Curry, he makes the game look easy. Yeah. I hate he had to knock Westbrook out, but
it was pretty bad too.
Yeah, it was a tough series. I actually wish it went to 7. I just like the Dame and Westbrook matchup.
I agree with you.
Really, just two dogs going to battle. So, obviously, Dame got the job done, and hopefully, he get the job done next round and keep going.
No, for sure. So back to your pops. Obviously him and I don't know if people, not too many people know, but him and Ray Allen played. Was it high school? Played high school ball together. Close friends, and I understand he's taking, he's playing a part in trying to help you through this process, becoming an NBA player. You were with him in. Let me see. You were with him recently, correct?
Miami last weekend.
Last week. What was that? What was that like, and how has Ray Allen played a role in this process?
Well, obviously, I think the biggest thing is when I got here, they got me on this diet almost.
Oh man!
And
hold on, before you went, what's the diet consist of, man?
Man, just some real healthy food. Man. I'm just used to eating burgers, and but now I got to eat all healthy, and that's Ray. So I just got to see how he eat, and I got to eat there, and the food was good, and then the greatest shooter. So just learning small stuff about my shot that helped me a lot. I got to get up and down with him at a gym. So
that was about for 2 days.
Yeah.
And have you continued on that dietary plan that he?
Gave you? I don't got no choice but to stay on it. But it's not bad though.
What is it considered? What is it? What is some of the food?
Some food I never heard of, honestly, if you ask me.
Is that right? Yeah.
But honestly, even though I'm not a fan of it, I know that I have to take care of my body, and my body feels good right now. So.
And like I said, that's Ray Allen. You think about anybody who's ever played this game as far as taking care of their body.
Yeah.
You studying and working under him. Oh boy, I feel it's gonna be a while before you get another burgers and pizza, man.
Yeah.
Ray, and so Ray's one of the greatest shooters of all time. Is that what you're made? Is that I understand the diet, but is shooting a main emphasis when you're working with him?
Yes, it's really shooting, but also he played the game at the highest level, so he know how it is, and we had talks and stuff how the game is played, and he feel like I have a good chance at being a great player in the league. So.
When did you? Let me take it back to this real quick. When did you? Because you talked about confidence might be gotten a little shot a little bit based off of the lack of interest. When did your confidence grow? When did it come to you that I am what I always thought I was? When did that happen?
Probably around that Murray State offer.
Around the Murray State offer.
Yeah, we had that tournament, and it was my last 2-3 tournaments, and I was probably averaging 30 through the whole thing. But my last AAU tournament, I averaged 40. So, and that's when most of the offers started rolling in. I think we was actually in North Carolina. We have some people down there. We went to a little cookout, and I was in the room with one of my brothers I grew up with. We was watching, I think, Paid in Full. Mm-hmm. And we had to keep pausing the movie because after my phone kept ringing of colleges offering me. So, and then just having the opportunity to play at Murray State also boosts my confidence. All right, so this is what you've been waiting for.
All right, so you had Murray State. Cameron Payne came out of there, correct?
Yeah.
Then there was let me see.
Cannon.
Isaiah Cannon. He came from there. Have they reached out? Have they reached out to you?
Yeah, I actually talked to Cannon in person.
Okay.
we was at a away game in East Illinois. He came down, watched the game, and we chopped it up a little bit. And I didn't talk to Cameron Payne in person, but like I talked to him before. But I got to talk to them. So.
Going into that tournament, because that's when the bright lights are going to be on. And that's where everybody, okay, this is his. We're going to see if he's legit. Did you put a lot of pressure on yourself going into that tournament, or were you relaxed and calm and cool? You knew you were going to do your thing regardless?
No, it was no pressure at all. I feel like, not saying like we didn't have a chance, but I feel like me and my team didn't really have nothing to lose. We was doubted the whole season anyway. So we just went out, relaxed, calm, and just played our same game we've been playing all year, and was able to come out with a win. So,
man, when it's all said, I mean, this draft class has the potential to be up there. We talk about them amongst the best, man. Like, are you looking at any other players in the draft class and trying to, I don't know, like say that player has a skill set that they're better than you are. I gotta make sure I get my stuff up to that par. Are you doing any of that?
Oh, nah. I think my only focus right now is just getting stronger. So.
Just getting stronger.
Yeah.
And shooting, is that, or is it getting stronger?
I always knew I can shoot.
Yeah.
But obviously, getting up reps and stuff, and I guess being more consistent, trying to be the best player I can be all around.
You ready for this? You ready for this whole thing, huh?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Do you understand that it's going to change dramatic? Your life has changed. Can you go out like going back in college? Are you able to go out, walk around, and you can't do that, huh?
Can't do
See,
nothing.
that's small potatoes right there. Ja, you're gonna be, your face is going. Like you a handsome brother. You all right? You know what I mean? You gonna be in the commercials and stuff. Their faces go like it's gonna be like. Are you prepared for all like? What is your? I know you got moms and pops there. Your infrastructure is important. The people you have around you are important. Can you speak to the people you have around you and how they're going to help you through all this?
Well, I just want to put myself around the best people I can. Some good people. Not only obviously I have like brothers and stuff that play basketball, but if they just good at basketball and a terrible person, I don't want to be around them. Mm-hmm. Like I don't want anything negative around me, and I'm a big family person. So if I'm around somebody, they become family, and I feel like everybody I got around me right now is good for me. I only want the best for me. So, have you already? I know it's early, but I'm gonna ask anyway. Have you started to plot or think about what you're wearing on draft day? We had Trae Young on about a month ago. You saw what he wore on his draft day. Do you have any plans, or how you plan on making this work? I got a little bit, but I ain't gonna speak too much. You ain't gonna speak too much on it. I'm gonna just come different. You gonna come different? Yeah. Then the hat ain't gonna fit. The hat ain't gonna fit on the head. Nah, it's not. But I'm gonna find a way to. What are some of your outlines? We don't know much about this. You're like real first major NBA interview. Like, people don't know a lot about you. What are some things that people don't know? Well, I like joking a lot, honestly, but I'm just a laid-back person. But once I get comfortable, I like joking. I was actually thinking about saying some jokes while I was on here to you, but I'm gonna let you live. What's the man? Go ahead, go back. I gotta go ahead, because I tell you, take those loafers off right here. Hey, and let the camera see what's working on. Hey. These are heat. Those heat. Heat. Hey, but what those things are covering ain't heat. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I got them done. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, that's all right. You gonna have plenty of time to get a. Hey, I don't hold back. That's all right. Ask Draymond. Ask them. Shoot, I keep them. If I ask Draymond, I'll be asking you. Look at you. All right, keep talking, John. I'm gonna let you slide, man. You got it. I'm gonna let you slide, man. You got it. You good with me, man? But no, I just want to, a couple last questions real quick. So, as you continue to evolve as a player and a pro, once you step into that NBA locker room as the point guard, that's a leadership position. Yeah. And then you may be, like I was talking to De'Aaron. He played with his first year. Vince Carter was over there. Yeah. And Zebo was over there. So yeah, so De'Aaron is 19. Vince Carter like 40 years old. I'm like,
And I'm like, he got to tell, as a point guard, he got to tell him, Vince, no, get your over here, get over.
Yeah.
I mean, probably not like that, but how you feel you're going to be adjust into a leadership role, and do you think you'll be able to do that from day one?
Oh, yeah, I think I'll be able to. Obviously, I think every team need those vets on the team, somebody who's been through it already to also be a leader. But I feel like a point guard got to be the one who talks on the floor the most and let everybody know where they need to be. And I feel like I'm ready for that.
Yeah, that's what's going to be. So you don't. There's no hypothetical. Any team out there that you feel like, man, if I was on that squad, I can take them in that. There's nothing like that.
Nah, I just feel like I can help almost every team, and if at least try to make an impact and do whatever I can to try to come out with some wins.
Ja, you've been coached well. You've been coached well, man. You've been coached well. I'll leave on this note. So Ja, as you make this thing final, you got the combine coming up. Maybe you'll do some workouts. What are you looking for? Because there's a lot of executives they're going to ask you. They're trying to get some feedback from you. What feedback are you looking to get from those teams, those executives?
Like I said, I'm a big family person, so obviously that's what I'm gonna be looking into the most. I'm pretty sure if they come and talk to me, obviously they probably see something in me and see a spot for me on their team and feel like I can help them. And I think that's what almost every player dream of, to obviously be able to play on the biggest level and just having the coach being able, obviously like executive, see something in you. It makes you feel good.
What is your potential in the league? What do you think your ceiling is? What are your aspirations once you get there?
I don't know. I don't speak too much of myself a lot, but I'm going to just say try to be the best player I can be, honestly.
All right. Pops taught you well. Pops
yeah.
taught you well.
It's just, I guess, like high school days being overlooked. It's not too much to brag on when you don't have nothing. So, and also the family teaching me that, like being humble is important. I think that helped me a lot. And like questions like that, I'm not good at speaking on myself. So
you're still going to continue and keep that edge, that feeling of slighted. That's going to carry on.
Yeah, it's always going to carry on.
Even though you're getting the attention now, even though they recognize you, that's going to carry on.
Yeah.
Why?
It should have been there, honestly.
Ooh.
That's what I feel like.
This boy sound like the truth over here, boy. He sound like the truth.
It should have been it, but
damn.
I feel like it's going to carry on regardless, but because I done went through. I know what I've been through, them tough times, and obviously now everything's good and being able to play basketball at the highest level. I don't think that can ever go nowhere because I still can look back and think on like what all I've been through to get to that point.
Man, well, John, man, hey, I'm pulling for you, G. I'm pulling for you, man. I wish you all the best, man. And I think you're gonna be straight regardless, man. I think you're gonna be straight regardless. But man, no, thank you for coming on the pod, man, and much success. If you ever need anything on my end, man, please reach out, fam.
Thank you for having me on.
Thanks for coming on, man. It was fun.